Live on YouTube, live on the Rumble. Good afternoon, hello, welcome to This Day in History, aka TDH. Of course, I'm Alexander, UVRU, and we will be joined by the Golden Loon here shortly. Today is Moon's Day, aka Monday, June 1st, 2026, a new month. Here we go, 6th month of the year. This show is about interesting and important events that occurred today throughout the annals of recorded history. We have a, where is it? Where did it go? Here it is. We have a 43-page document, so a little on the longer side, but as to be expected with the first of every month, you know, that's when laws come into effect, you know, throughout all of time, you know, the first of months and all that jazz, so, you know how it goes. Anyway, let's start us off in the year 4000 BC. It's the approximate domestication of the horse in the Eurasian steppes near Dracavia, central Ukraine. This is hypothesis only. We don't. I mean, that's 6,000 years ago. Okay, so we don't know the exact time. Moving on up to 794, Charles the Great, also known as Charlemagne, opened the General Synod in Frankfurt. Moving on up to 1215, Peking, also known as Beijing, which was then a city of over 1 million people, under the control of Jurchen ruler Emperor Xuanzong of Jin, was captured and looted for a month by the Mongols under Genghis Khan. 1283, Albert I, son of Rudolf I of Habsburg, made sole ruler of the duchies of Austria and Styria under the Treaty of Rheinfelden, removing his brother Rudolf II as co-ruler. This leads later to Rudolf's son murdering his uncle. Yikes. Moving on up to 1459, Pope Pius II opened the Council of Mantua to call for a new crusade against the Ottoman Empire. The crusade never amounted to anything really. The council was disbanded in 1560, 101 years later. Oh, that's too bad. 1495, we have the first written record of Scotch whiskey appears in the Exchequer Rolls of Scotland. Friar John Core is listed as the distiller. So Scotch whiskey! Aye. So, you know, let's take a look at this. I have an image to show you guys, or two. So let's see here. Yeah, the first written reference to Scotch whiskey, right there. I can't read it. I don't know what language that is. It's very small print, kind of blurry of a photo. But yeah, happy birthday to Scotch whiskey. Oh yeah. On this day in 1495, a monk named Friar John Core was recorded in the Exchequer Rolls of Scotland after receiving, quote, 8 bowls of malt, in quotes, from malt, enough to produce hundreds of bottles of alcohol. His task was to distill aqua vitae, Latin for water of life. This seemingly simple entry marks the earliest known written reference to Scotch whiskey. It was not a commercial product yet, just a medicinal spirit brewed by monks, but this moment is where the long storied tradition of Scotch whiskey began. Intriguing. What else do we got here? 1535, combined forces loyal to Charles V attacked and expelled the Ottomans from Tunis during the conquest of Tunis. 1543, Flemish physician Andreas Vesalius published De Humani Corporis Fabrica, or On the Fabric of the Human Body, in 7 books. A major step forward in understanding human anatomy. This date is representative as exact date of publication unknown. So, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great.
Yeah. We started off... Oh, wait. We are not in the right camera. There we go. We started off...
it looked better before.
No, I disagree. Well, I don't know. I mean... I don't know if you really add anything, but...
I'm not worried about adding. I'm just worried if I take away.
No, don't worry about what there's this mug. So, I mean, I guess with us combined, we can circumvent, you know, the vanity level and actually, you know, look good. Like, I don't know.
My take is, between the two of us, we can break any camera.
Maybe that's why this one's still working, because it's so old, it doesn't even realize. The camera's so old, it's got Alzheimer's. It doesn't know it needs to break. Anyway, yeah. We started off in 4000 BC, the approximate date of the domestication of the horse. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So moving on, and we just covered a book that was a major step forward in understanding human anatomy.
I heard that.
Yeah. 1568, Duke of Alva oversaw the beheading of 18 nobles in Brussels as part of Council of Trouble / Council of Blood. 5068, we got that one. 1638, first earthquake recorded in the U.S. occurred in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Yeah. I wonder what the intensity was. If
I didn't know they had earthquakes up there.
Oh, of course they do. Just not that often.
Yeah.
So, 1657, we have the first Quakers arrived in New Amsterdam, which would become known as New York. So, and then 3 years later, Mary Dyer was hanged for defying a law banning Quakers from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Whoa. Yikes. 1670, English King Charles II and French King Louis XIV signed a secret anti-Dutch treaty, agreeing to a joint attack on the Dutch. So,
I'm talking about King Charles II quite a bit, actually.
Yeah.
Over the days.
Yeah, and actually, it says here, agreeing to a joint attack on the Dutch Republic and Charles II's conversion to Catholicism. So he's also converting.
That's huge.
Yeah. And the treaty was called the Secret Treaty of Dover, according to our other source here, which will force England in the Third Anglo-Dutch War. Wow, we're learning, the more...
Wow, the more...
yeah.
Going.
Yeah, I know, right? 1773, Wolrad Waltemate rescued 14 sailors at the Cape of Good Hope from the sinking ship Dijon Thomas by riding his horse into the sea 7 times. Unfortunately, both he and his horse, Conch, were drowned on his 8th attempt. So, but, Godspeed, that guy and his horse.
I wonder if that's where Dijon mustard comes from.
I don't know. But that's an incredible act of heroism right there.
Yeah, it is.
1774, Boston Port Act. Following the passage of the act, the British government ordered Port of Boston closed to punish colonists for the Boston Tea Party. Talk about fanning the flames, man.
Yeah.
1775 or 79, the court-martial for malfeasance of Benedict Arnold, a general in the Continental Army during the American Revolutionary War, began. Yeah, Benedict Arnold, what a piece of shit that guy was. 1789, first U.S. congressional act became a law on administering oaths. Well, that makes sense. You gotta start, with the core foundation.
True.
1792, Kentucky was admitted as the 15th state of the United States of America. Nice.
It is very nice.
Yeah. 1794, glorious 1st of June, the first naval battle between Britain under Admiral Lord Howe and France under Vice Admiral Louis Thomas Villard des Joyeaux. During the French Revolutionary Wars, Britain gained a tactical win. 2 years after that, last of Britain's troops withdrew from the U.S. Yeah, because we won. We kicked them the heck out of here. We also have Tennessee was admitted as the 16th U.S. state of the, 16th state of the U.S. So, yeah, it's my state, where I was born.
There you go.
So we have 2 states, Florida and Tennessee. Florida was right. No, Kentucky, not Florida. Kentucky and Tennessee. 1808, first U.S. land-grant university founded as Ohio University in Athens, Ohio. 1 year after that, Alderus Barclay began a bet of walking 1 mile every hour for 1,000 hours. Each hour he walked a mile round trip from his home. Okay.
I get that, but...
Well, but like every hour on the hour, he goes out and he walks 1 mile, in a round trip that ends back at his house. And then he hangs out, and then when it's another hour on the hour, he goes and does it again for 1,000 times.
That's a lot of hours.
Well, yeah, it said here, 1 mile every hour for 1,000 hours. So, 1812, the War of 1812, U.S. President James Madison asked the Congress to declare war on the United Kingdom. We're getting invaded, and he has to ask Congress? What?
I know, but that's what he has to do.
That's kind of ridiculous. 1813, Captain John Lawrence uttered Navy motto, "Don't give up the ship!" Yep. We also have capture of USS Chesapeake. I guess they did give up the ship. So, 1815, Napoleon Bonaparte swore fidelity to the Constitution of France. So he promulgated a revised constitution after it passed a plebiscite. Okay. 16 years later, in 1831, British explorer James Clark Ross discovered the magnetic North Pole on the west coast of Botha Peninsula. We were just talking about, North Pole and polarity shifts and all that stuff earlier in the panel. Those people I went back to?
Yeah.
I had some very interesting conversations earlier today. Yeah. So, 1846, Sojourner Truth heard the Spirit of God and changed her name from Isabella Baumfree to Sojourner Truth, leaving New York to begin traveling, giving speeches against slavery. I'm pretty sure you don't need God to tell you to be against slavery. So,
no.
Yeah, especially if you're of the people who are being enslaved. It's kind of self-evident. 1845, homing pigeon completed 11,000-kilometer trip from Namibia to London in 55 days.
Good grief.
Yeah. Well, homing pigeons
Yeah.
were a big thing. So. We also have a revolutionary newspaper, Heimlich Zeitung, founded by Karl Marx, Friedrich Engels, and the Communist League in Cologne. The greatest contribution Karl Marx ever did for the planet was when he died. We also have 1849, territorial governor Alexander Ramsey declared the territory of Minnesota officially established. So 2 states in the territory.
Yeah.
Look at that. 1854, Island War. The British Navy destroyed merchant ships and about 16,000 tar barrels of the wholesale stocks area in Oulu, Grand Duchy of Finland.
I have no idea what that means.
What barrels of tar?
Yeah.
Or whatever, like destroyed them, like must have some war supply. I don't know. They're destroying things.
Yeah.
1855, U.S. adventurer William Walker conquered Nicaragua, reestablished slavery. What the hell? What the hell, dude? William Walker, you piece of shit, man. 1861, U.S. Confederacies, or the U.S. and the Confederacy simultaneously stopped mail interchange. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, but if what's really funny is if the U.S. and Confederacy treated each other like China and the U.S., then we would be abiding by the Confederacy.
What are you talking about?
As in, like, the way that we interact with China and everything. They're constantly spying on us. They're constantly trying to uproot us. Like how many Chinese nationals in NASA and the government just time and time again. And why do we still do business with them? That's my point. At least back then we figured out. At least back then we knew not to work with our enemies.
True.
What the fuck is wrong with us today? 1868, African Slave Trade Treaty Act, bilateral treaty between the U.S. and UK, abolished the slave trade in all U.S. possessions. Good.
Yeah.
1864, Confederate cruiser Georgia was sold to a British merchant in Liverpool. And that's really interesting because, like, up here we just covered U.S. and UK, but the UK proclaimed neutrality, but was actively helping, the Confederacy.
Yeah.
And we actually had to blockade around the Confederacy to prevent the British, ships.
Yeah, coming in and supplying.
Yeah. So, 1866, General Dutch Typographer Union formed. Okay. 68, Texas Constitutional Convention met in Austin. All right. We also have the Treaty of Bosque Redondo was signed, allowing the Navajo to return to their lands in Arizona and New Mexico. That's stupid. How come a white man paper has any jurisdiction over that crap? It's terrible.
There you go.
Yeah. 1869, Thomas Edison granted his first patent for the electric vote recorder, U.S. patent 90,646. Well, now everything makes sense as to why everything's so crap with the voting. He's behind the whole stuff. Friggin' Edison, you rat bastard. 1872, Charles Allen's expedition set off for Hudson Bay overland, accompanied by 16 Amerindian canoeists. Oh, I guess Native Americans.
Yeah.
They will be the first Europeans to reach it overland about 25 days later.
That's up in Canada.
Ah, nice.
Hudson Bay.
Yep. 1877, Society of American Artists forms. Okay. We also have U.S. troops authorized to pursue bandits into Mexico.
Yeah.
Now that was just before Patton's time. It must have been. But I remember Patton did go into Mexico chasing Pancho Villa.
Yeah.
So and that has to have been before this.
77.
1877. Yeah. Well, 1877 to 1945, he'd be pushing 80, but he wasn't that old.
No, he wasn't that old.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I think the whole Pancho Villa thing was just before or after 1900. 1879, Napoleon Eugene, the last dynastic Bonaparte, was killed serving with British forces in the Anglo-Zulu War. He is buried in Farnborough, Hampshire. Wow. So that's really interesting. Like, Napoleon Bonaparte fought against the British, and then the last of his lineage died fighting for the British. And now his bloodline is gone. just, don't involve with the British. 1880, the first paid telephone service in the United States was installed in New Haven, Connecticut. We also have the U.S. Census was 50,155,783. All right. 1881, Bell Telephone opened its first Dutch telephone exchange. And we have written by outstanding English jockey Fred Archer, Iroquois won the Epsom Derby to become the first U.S. owned and bred horse to win a European classic race. Nice. 5 years after that, in 1886, the railroads of the southern United States converted 11,000 miles of track from a 5-foot rail gauge to a standard gauge beginning of May 31st.
So they're all standard then.
Yep. 1888, California got its first seismograph. All right. So now we can measure these, earthquakes and everything.
Yeah.
1890, U.S. Census was at 62,622,250. According to the United States Census Bureau, began using Herman Holler's tabulating machine to count census returns. So what did they do here with the 50 million in 1880, between 1880 and 1890?
Went around and asked.
That
took a count.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
1898, hotelier Caesar Ritz. I got hotelier. I've never heard that word. Hotelier. That's weird. Caesar Ritz opened the Ritz. Oh, I guess that's his name, Caesar Ritz, and he's a hotelier. So that's a position.
I guess it is.
Yeah, like a tycoon or a mogul or something. He's a hotelier. Opened the Ritz Hotel in Paris, the first hotel with electricity on every floor and separate bathrooms.
Oh.
So many things we take for granted today.
Yeah.
We
stayed in a place without a separate. Well, we did have a separate bathroom.
Well, no,
we paid extra for
we
one.
did. We did. Yeah, that hostel over in San Francisco. Yeah. So we'll never do that again, though. But
Why not?
well,
Because of San Francisco, you mean, or because of the hostel?
Well, there's been a lot of fishy things with hostels. I don't know, and because of its low price, fishy people go in there. And they can go in there, and then they can vanish again back into the ether. I don't know, but
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, I did. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed it. It's nice to get off the beaten path, but it was a little shady. So anyway, 1898 Trans-Mississippi International Expedition opened in Omaha. All right, 1905 Lewis and Clark Centennial Exposition opened in Portland, Oregon. 2 years later, we have negative 27 degrees Fahrenheit or negative 33 degrees Celsius in Sacramento, Argentina, South American record. That's cool.
Yeah, that is.
1908, John Cron began walk around perimeter of the U.S., which took 357 days. Almost a year.
Yep.
So, that sounds...
Just a little bit shy of a year.
That sounds awesome. I would love to do that. I wouldn't do the 1,000 thing, every hour on the hour. I mean, that sounds cool, but I wouldn't do it. But walk around the perimeter of the U.S., that sounds really cool. 1909, the Alaska Yukon Pacific Exposition opened in Seattle. And 1 year after that, the sport club Enschede Soccer Club formed in Enschede, Netherlands, merging with the Enschede Boys to form FC Twente in 1965. 1911, first Inter-Empire Sports Championship closed in London. And we also have the first U.S. group insurance policy written in Passaic, New Jersey. Okay. 365 days later, Dutch soccer club Stromvogels formed in Enschede, merging with VSV to form Telstar in 1963. 1913, the Serbian government concluded a 10-year treaty with Greece against Bulgaria. Serbia wished to pursue Macedonian aspirations with Greece's help. And this also paved the way for the Second Balkan War. So that's not good. 1916, U.S. Senate confirmed Louis Brandeis for the Supreme Court of the United States by a vote of 47 to 22 over 4 months after his nomination, becoming the first Jew to be an Associate Justice. Congratulations! 1917, Boston Braves first baseman Hank Gowdy was the first to achieve MLB player to enlist, or was the first active MLB player to enlist for service in World War I. He would go on to become the only Major League Baseball player to fight in both the First and Second World Wars. Wow! That's awesome! Yeah. 1918, Canadian ace Billy Bishop downed 6 aircraft over a 3-day span, including German ace Paul Billick, never heard of that guy, reclaiming his top-scoring title from James McCunnon. Wow, they're out there shooting people down and killing people, and they're tallying it up in a score calculator.
That does not sound like a German name.
Paul Billick.
That sounds weird.
I mean, like, he's
I
the
guess
German.
Anything's possible.
Well, no,
German A's.
he might not be a German, but
Oh,
he's
okay.
fighting for the Germans.
Okay.
You know, who knows? It's at 1918 as well. Chicago White Sox losing 5-4 against New York Yankees. Load the bases in the ninth with no outs. Chigendo lined to Frank Baker, who turned a rare game-winning triple play.
Oh, man.
Oh, what a game! 1919, Rhineland Republic formed in Wiesbaden. That sounds alarming. We also have Prohibition came into force in Finland. 1922, over 50,000 fascists gathered for a meeting in Bologna where Mussolini warned that he will lead a full-scale revolt against the government favoring anti-fascist reaction. Yeah, he took power by force. Like, he and his cronies actually stormed the parliament or whatever the heck, you know, they have down there, and they took it. They took Italy by force, I believe. Like, I don't think he was voted in. Was he voted in? I'm not sure. But yeah, like, you know...
I thought he was. I don't know.
You know what? Let me look this up. How did... Pardon me. Mussolini gain power? Because I think he stormed things. Oh, here we go. Well, according to AI, he gained power through a combination of political opportunism, propaganda, and exploiting post-World War I instability in Italy, eventually consolidating control as a dictator. But I know that he, like, stormed something.
So he wasn't elected in, so he just kind of...
Well, no, like I think he might have been, but, like, he did also storm something at one point. So, but I don't know. I'm going to add this in the underbar of the description section. Let's see here. Mussolini. If anybody wants to take a look at that and answer this question, let us know in the comment section. Speaking of comments, do we have any comments? Yeah. Oh, hey, MacGyver on YouTube. How you doing? And Rumble. Where'd Rumble go? There's Rumble. Okay. Nope, but we do have 2 viewers over there. Well, one of them is being me, but yeah. Anyway, what else do we got here? 1922. We got that one. The Royal Ulster Constabulary was founded. Yeah. Royal Ulster Constabulary. Why does it sound so familiar? Isn't that Britain? Ulster. What's the Ulster?
I've never heard of it.
I've heard of it, but I don't remember. Royal Ulster Constabulary. Oh, it's an Irish. That's right. It was the police force of Northern Ireland from 1922 to 2001.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was remembering. So, you know what? I'm going to add this in the underbar section as well. So, Royal RUC. I'll just do it that way. What else do we got here? 1923. New York Giants rout Philadelphia Phillies 22-5 at the Baker Bowl. First time in 20th century his MLB team has scored in every inning. Wow. 22-5. Holy crap. 1925, future New York Yankees Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig pitched hits for shortstop Pee Wee Wanigie, what a name, in a 5-3 loss to Washington. First of record 2,130 consecutive games. Woo! 1 century ago, 1926, Ignacy Mościcki elected president of Poland. 1 year later, peace bridge between U.S. and Canada opened. Let's take a look at this peace bridge here really quick. And what is this? Oh. Okay, well this is some kind of baseball something. I don't remember what. Have we passed yet? Okay, well, keep an eye out for the Heimlich maneuver. Let's see, the peace bridge. Let's look at this peace bridge. Yes, bridge with bridge-like qualities and aspects. That's a cool picture, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's nice. What else do we got here? 1929, the first conference of the Communist Parties of Latin America was held in Buenos Aires. Uh-oh. And freaking Ruskies are getting to the, you know...
Yeah.
Why can't I... The Latin America people.
Yeah.
1930, the Deacon Queen was introduced as first intercity train between Bombay, VC, or Mumbai, CST, and Pune, to run on electric locomotives. Also, that's in India. It's pretty cool.
Oh, okay.
33, Century of Progress World's Fair opened in Chicago. 2 years later, compulsory driving tests and license plates introduced in the United Kingdom. Yeah. 36, Lux Radio Theater moved from New York City to Hollywood. That's a big move.
I've heard of Lux somewhere online. I can't tell you what.
So have I, but I don't know where. Weird.
Lux Radio Theater is a place, I guess.
Well, they moved from New York City to Hollywood. And, like, you know, like the whole movie industry actually started in New Jersey. And then Hollywood, you know, made it big and everything. Yeah, like, what's his face? Thomas Edison, you know, started the first, he opened the first movie studio.
And now they're dying.
Yeah. 1936, because, well, the Queen Mary completed its maiden voyage, arriving in New York. We've been on that ship.
Yep.
1939, first major boxing match on U.S. television is the heavyweight bout from New York Yankees Stadium between former world champion Max Bauer and Lou Nova. Nova won by technical knockout in 11th round. 1939, first flight of the German Focke Wolf FW-190 fighter aircraft. Let's take an image at this bird really quick. Oh yeah, this aircraft. This looks familiar. World War II in 39, so
yeah.
Almost, you know, World War II. In 1940, coffee and tea were rationed in Holland. Yeah. We also have Nazi occupiers kicked out Jews from the Dutch Air Guard. You know, they're doing all that everywhere, you know. So, 1941, the Farhud, a massive pogrom in Iraq, started, and as a result, many Iraqi Jews were forced to leave their homes. Now it's happening in the Middle East. And again, 41 as well, future Hall of Fame outfielder Mel Ott hit his 400th career home run and his 1,500th RBI. Running batting in, right?
Yeah.
All I really know is the line. To help the New York Giants to a 3-2 win over the Cincinnati Reds. Germany banned all Catholic publications. Oh, now they're going after Catholics. Unsurprising. 41 as well. Germany occupied Crete after an Allied evacuation. But during World War II, the Battle of Crete ended as Crete capitulated to Germany. 2 years later, Germany shot down a civilian flight from Lisbon to London. 13 passengers, including actor Leslie Howard, and 4 crew died. It was a Boeing Flight 777 was shot down over the Bay of Biscay by German Junkers Ju-88s, killing British actor Leslie Howard and leading to speculation that it was actually an attempt to kill British Prime Minister Winston Churchill. 43 as well, Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Rip Stewell patented his IFAS, or blooper ball pitch, uses pitch on way to a 20-win campaign. That's what this is. Okay.
Yeah.
This is, you know, like I couldn't really tell. I knew it was baseball, but I didn't remember where, you know? So
Blooper ball.
Yeah, or IFAS. You know, like 1943, the weird word. 44, Allied generals Bernard Montgomery, George S. Patton, Omar Bradley, Miles Dempsey, and Harry Carrere met in Portsmouth, England, just prior to D-Day. And if you haven't seen the movie, go watch Pressure right now.
Great movie.
Like,
it is a great movie.
It takes place in like 4 days in 1944. Like, you know, and
it's all about the decision making for D-Day.
And like, I knew, and like, oh man, like, how can I explain this movie? Like as a historian, like, I am aware of, you know, what was going on and all that stuff. Like how much hinged on the entire war. Like, you know, like it was planned for the 5th. You know, there's horrible weather coming and everything. That they saw a break just by happenstance on the 6th, but otherwise it would be several weeks later, and then they had everybody, like, you know, like on alert, and like, you know, this was gonna make or break the war, you know, like, you know, certainly the invasion, but very potentially the war, you know.
Look, anything you say doesn't make the movie what it is.
Yes,
it's so intense.
I can't explain
believe
it,
and it's just all decisions.
I mean, it's basically
awesome.
It's trying
Watch
to get. It's trying to explain how it feels like to be on a roller coaster without going on the roller coaster. You know, great movie. Go see it. You know, if you have any care about history, go see it. Pressure.
Even if you don't, still good.
Yeah, really good. What else we got here? 44, Nazi occupiers make it punishable to give aid to Allied pilots. You know, how Trudeau of them. 44, Washington Senators MLB outfielder Stan Spence went 6 for 6 in an 11-5 win over the St. Louis Browns, collecting 5 singles and a home run. 1946, Loons time.
Hey,
I forgot to add this
hey,
here.
Here we go.
Loons time. There we go.
Don't forget that.
No. Ion Antonescu, conductor or leader of Romania during World War II, was executed.
Oh, man.
Yee.
Not the way to start my time.
No. 47, the development of photosensitive glass, which had occurred 10 years previously, was announced publicly. Wow.
So it had already been around 10 years.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, you know, what have I said about lithium-ion technology? You know? So, photosensitive glass. These are glasses by which a colored picture may be developed by exposing the glass to black and white negative and ultraviolet light. The appropriate proportions of potash aluminate glass mixed with LiSO 3, cerium and silver salts have also been used as photosensitive glass. Wow. Interesting. 1948, Israel and Arabs agreed to a ceasefire. All right.
That's good.
Yeah, the first of 7,000. 1949, British government granted Cyrenaica or East Libya independence. Excellent. 1950, the Shishinga fire ignited. By September, it would become the largest single fire on record in North America.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How big is it, though? They don't tell us.
No, we're not there yet.
Acres? What is it?
I found a picture of it. Actually, no, where is it? I once again, I didn't have these in order. Where is it? I guess I don't. Where did it go? I don't have it. I guess I didn't collect the picture then when I looked it up. Must have been before we went to the gym. But there is a good right here. Oh, that's because it's too small. That's why I don't have it. But like, look at that. It's enormous.
It's hard to tell. There's nothing to compare. There's nothing there to.
There's actually a video of it. What is this?
The Chinchaga Fire, also known as the Wisp Fire, Chinchaga River Fire and Fire 19, was a forest fire that burned in northern British Columbia and Alberta in the summer and early fall of 1950. With a final size of between 1,400,000 hectares and 1,700,000 hectares.
Holy crap, dude. I'm trying to see if he... Oh, here we go. Let me bigger this. So there's the map. So last 0 to 6 hours, 6 to 12, 12 to 24, 6 days to last 20... Holy crap, dude. Now, wait a minute. No, this is wrong. This is 2019. I'm talking about 1950.
That's a different deal.
This is wrong. This is the wrong fire. Okay, well...
Don't even know if that's Canada.
Nuts to that, then. Like, I don't know. 1951, first self-contained titanium plant opened in Henderson, Nevada. 51 as well, International Cheese Treaty was signed. What?
Cheese Treaty?
I hope there's no holes in it. We also have Massey Commission issued its landmark report in Canada, advocating for funding wide range of cultural activities, resulting in the funding of the National Library in Canada. Awesome. I'm actually looking this up. Go away, reading list. What is this cheese treaty? Hold on a second.
Well, it would have holes if the Swiss had anything to do with it.
International Convention on the Use of Application of Appellations of Origins and Denominations of Cheeses. What the fuck is happening? What is this?
Oh man, that's something I really want to attend. Yeah.
This is crazy. I thought I was just gonna get a wiki, but I guess not. The cheese stands alone. No, I'm not getting
meaning for cheese heads.
Yeah. 1951 as well, Washington State Ferries, the largest ferry system in the United States, began operation under state ownership after a buyout of the Puget Sound Navigation Company.
Okay, up to Puget Sound.
Yep. 365 days later, Catholic Church put Andre Guy's labor on the index. Librarium Prohibitorium, or the list of prohibited books. Okay. 1955, Tunisian nationalist leader Habib Bourguiba returned to Tunisia after imprisonment and exile in France. 57, Don Bowden became the first Stadian to run a sub 4-minute mile at 3 minutes 58.7 seconds at the Pacific Association AAU meet in Stockton, California. Now, the first guy was British, right? Like, a guy who broke the 4-minute mile. Because we've already covered that. Why am I in caps lock? 4-minute mile. Roger Bannister.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because,
yeah.
Was it right? Yeah.
Yes, it was Roger Bannister. That name I know.
England. It was a British guy. Okay. All right, what else do we got here? 1958, the Riverside International Raceway in Southern California opened with 3 500-mile races in one weekend. Eddie Gray won the Crown America 500 for NASCAR Grand National Cars.
Good grief.
Yep, 59, Constitution of Tunisia promulgated. This is their national day, so happy National Day, Tunisia. We also have two-time defending champion Monterrey, Mexico, ruled ineligible to compete in Little League Baseball World Series for using players outside predetermined geographical area. That makes sense.
They had ringers.
Yeah. 61, the Canadian Bank of Commerce and Imperial Bank of Canada merged to form the Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce, the largest bank merger in Canadian history. I smell Rothschilds. 62, SS officer Adolf Eichmann was executed in Israel after being found guilty of war crimes. You know, crimes against humanity, war crimes, and other offenses. Yeah, sayonara, you know. 63, Jomo Kenyatta was sworn in as the first Prime Minister of the Dominion of Kenya. And, of course, you know, him being the founding father of Kenya. We will be talking about Kenya literally 1 year later. But first, we have the Rolling Stones in 1964 arrived in New York's Kennedy International Airport for their first U.S. tour, greeted by about 500 fans.
Boy.
They mobbed the airport. Now, as I said here, and this is actually off of primary source, 1964 Kenya became a republic with Jomo Kenyatta as its first president. So, you know, first Prime Minister of Dominion of Kenya, being the founding father, Kenyatta, Kenya, you know? So, yeah. 65 as well, Arno Penzias and Robert Woodrow Wilson at Bell Labs detected 3 degrees Kelvin primordial background radiation, helping confirm the Big Bang Theory, later to receive the Nobel Prize in 1978, 13 years later. That took a while. We also have a coal mine explosion in Fukuoka, Japan, killed 236. Rest in peace. Robert Man Ray began his 78-day voyage to sail a 13.5-foot yacht, the Tinkerbell, across the Atlantic Ocean. 1966, 2,400 people attended White House Conference on Civil Rights. 67, EMI released the Beatles' album Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band nationwide in the UK. It went on to #1 for 22 weeks in the UK. Yeah. One of the most, you know, this album cover, you know, is one of the most famous in all of history. 68, Simon and Garfunkel, speaking of famous people, single Mrs. Robinson.
Which that's from the movie. Mrs. Robinson.
Oh, okay. From The Graduate, hit #1, the first rock song to win a Grammy for Record of the Year. And for those who do not know of that song, am I thinking of the same one? Is it the Fast-Paced Miss Robinson?
What?
The Fast-Paced Miss Robinson?
Fast-Paced.
Heaven holds a place for those who pray.
Like, as opposed to singing songs slowly, or you start singing
But this
a little
is
bit
from
fast.
the movie The Graduate.
Yeah. They played this song in Wolf of Wall Street when he was getting busted by the FBI.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I'm going to add this in the underbar section. Mrs. Robinson.
You should watch that. It's a classic.
I should. So, let me fix the misses here really quick. For some reason, I keep ending up on caps lock. It's weird. What else do we got here? 1968, St. Louis Cardinals side-arming left-hander Joe Horner tied National League record for most consecutive strikeouts by a relief pitcher, fanning the final 6 batters to earn a 6-5 victory over the New York Mets. All right, I meant to drag that over there, not this over there. It's hard to do 2, 3 things at once, you know, while actively reading. 70, 1969 as well, tobacco advertising was banned on Canadian radio and TV.
Oh, Canadian, okay.
Yeah.
Probably already banned here.
Probably, I don't know. Well, you know what, when was tobacco? When was tobacco advertisements banned in the U.S.? Regulation and marketing. When did it become illegal to advertise here? January 2nd, 1969. So, not by much. By half a year, we beat them out.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Wait a minute. No. I didn't read that right. 1971. Cigarette advertising on TV and radio was banned in the U.S. starting January 2nd, 1971, under the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act of 1969.
Okay.
So Canada banned it first,
Okay.
according to AI. So take that with a grain of
I
salt.
thought it would have been in the 60s. But
well,
obviously
they,
71.
They passed the law in the
Yeah.
60s and it went into effect in 71.
And alcohol
Took
went.
yeah. Let's hear tobacco. I'm gonna add this to the underbar section. All these links will be in the description after the live stream, of course. There's already cool links down there, though. Wait, this one here, tobacco bans. This is what I wanted. All right. What else do we got here? Get rid of that. Get rid of that. There we are. 1972, Dmitri Shostakovich's 15th Symphony, Dutch premieres in West Berlin. Good old Dmitri Shostakovich. 72 as well, Iraq nationalized Iraq Petroleum Company's IPC concession, owned by British Petroleum, Royal Dutch Shell, Champagne Francois de Petroles, Mobil, and Standard Oil of New Jersey. Wow, they're all in there.
Well, they took it over. Get the hell out. We're taking our oil back.
Yeah, true. 72, Tswaziland became Botswana in South Africa. All right. 72 as well. Atlanta Records released Amazing Grace, a live double album by U.S. singer Aretha Franklin, recorded at the New Temple Missionary Baptist Church in Los Angeles. A critical and commercial success, winning 1973 Grammy Award for Best Soul Gospel Performance, selling over 2 million copies in the U.S., becoming bestseller of her career, as well as highest-selling live gospel music album of all time. Hell yeah, Aretha Franklin. You know, from me, she certainly does have some R-E-S-P-E-C-T. 73 as well, 8 OPEC countries raised price of petroleum by 11.9%. We also have George Harrison's Living in the Material World album went gold 2 days after its release. It's a U.S. release, that is.
Yeah.
That's really fast.
Yeah.
Greek President Papadopoulos asked for a parliamentary presidential republic. That article's honestly only in there because I wanted to try to pronounce that. Papadopoulos. Sounds fun, you know?
Good job.
Thank you. 73, you know, that's actually, you know, Papa, you know, like for dad. But we gotta start saying, oh, hey, what's up, Papadopoulos? You know? it's an extension. So. Paul McCartney and Wings released single Live and Let Die. Is that the same song? Or am I thinking of something else? Hold on a second. Let me look at this up here really quick. YouTube. There you are. Let's see here. Live and Let Die, Paul McCartney. Is this the same one I'm thinking of?
Live and let die.
Yeah, it's the exact same one. Yep. So, Live and Let Die. I'm going to be listening to these after the live stream. These are good songs. What else do we got here? 1974, Arab oil ministers decide to end most restrictions on exports of oil to the United States, but continued embargo against the Netherlands, Portugal, South Africa, and Rhodesia. 74, Bundy victim Brenda Ball disappeared from Burien, Washington. 74 as well, the Heimlich maneuver for rescuing choking victims was published in the journal Emergency Medicine. Well, not that picture right there.
I used that once on your granddad.
Ah, yeah, I was actually going to ask you, like, you know, didn't you use that on Granddad?
Yes, at a restaurant.
Yeah. So for those who do not know the Heimlich maneuver, if I can bigger this image, which I can't, so let's see, does this tell me? Stand behind the choking person and wrap your arm around their waist. Place thumb side of the fist against between navel, the pursuit, and the ribs.
Place solar plexus.
Yep. Place your fist into the person's abdomens with quick and upward thrust. Repeat abdominal thrust until object is coughed up. So, and you might break a few ribs, but hey, you're saving a life.
You can also do it yourself on a doorknob or a corner of a desk.
Now, what's really horrible, you know, and, like, our society is disgusting, you know, because of this and many other things. But there have been instances of people who are choking, and you know, like then you know somebody Heimlichs them, and because they caused bruising or discomfort or broke a rib, they sued them.
No. Mama Cass died of choking on a piece of ham or something.
Who did?
Mama Cass.
Who's
Mamas and Papas? Rock and roll group. Wow.
No idea.
Wow.
It's a group?
Mamas and Papas, yeah.
Oh, okay. And
She was Mama Cass.
oh, so you're talking about a person.
Mama Cass
okay.
was, the person that
And I
died.
wasn't sure if you were talking about a relative or
Oh,
just
no,
like
no,
some,
no.
I'm trying to put things together here.
No.
No, that sucks.
Yeah.
Zachary Taylor died from eating fermented strawberries and milk. You know.
Yeah.
So, but he didn't choke on it. Although, what's his face? George Bush, he choked on a pretzel once, right?
Maybe,
George
I don't
W.
remember.
Bush. Yeah.
I remember, could have,
Yeah.
sure.
75, California Angels pitcher Nolan Ryan recorded his record equaling 4th MLB career no-hitter in defeating the Baltimore Orioles 1-0.
4 no-hitters. Man.
Yeah. The cars of the Netherlands required to have seatbelts. You know, so automobiles.
Yeah.
We also have Ronnie Wood replace Mick Taylor as Rolling Stones guitarist who was asked to leave. Wow. What's going on there?
Not sure.
The Patriotic Union of Kurdistan was founded by Jalal Talabani, Nawashirin, Mustafa, Fawad Masum, and others. Okay. 1976, Great Britain and Iceland ended the Cod War. Good old Cod War. They actually, like, you know, violence happened. Fishing and all that stuff over cod. Like, you know.
Well, fishing rights, yeah.
Yeah, well, not just fishing rights, but.
Overfishing.
Well, no, like a commercial cod fishing vessel. Like, actually openly attacking a British or vice versa, you know, like, they actually came to blows. Like, it wasn't just about rights and everything, it was actual, like, you know, like, oh, we're here first, you know, like, you know how, like,
Well, one had to figure they didn't belong there. One had to think the other didn't belong there. They were not fishing within their territories or something like that. It happened.
something sort of like that, yeah, but it was also, like, somebody was indeed encroaching on somebody else, and it was, like, down to individuals. It was beyond the powers of politics. Like, it was just people, I think. So, what else do we got here? 1977, British Virgin Islands adopted their constitution. Now you have me curious. Cod Wars. I gotta look this up. The actual thing. Let's see here. There were a series of 20th century confrontations between Iceland, the United Kingdom, and about fishing rights in the North Atlantic around Iceland. Each of the disputes ended with an Icelandic victory. So, I think there were
territorial disputes.
Yeah, it was. But like, there actually were like you know like fights. What's the whale wars? People, you know, they throw tomatoes and all that stuff. That stupid reality TV show. Like, it's these environmental activists, and they think they're hot shit, and they go out and they start throwing like, you know, like rotten tomatoes on whaling ships. They're like, oh, ha ha, your ship's stinky, ha ha. You know, we're fighting for the whales. You know, well, these people actually went out there and shot each other, I believe. So, what else we got here? 1977, Russia charged Jewish rights activist Anthony Schnartsky with treason.
Ooh.
Yikes. So, and another comment from G here. Enjoying the content, informative, and host is easy on the ear, making it a win-win in my book. Well, thank you.
There you go.
You know, like I
agree with that.
Yeah, I hope my audio isn't too low or too high. You know, like apparently we're still having some problems with that.
Oh yeah.
So Wire and I at one point we're gonna try to, you know, nip this in the bud and get this taken care of once and for all with the audio levels. Because he's going to get on and tell me too high, too low, and I'm going to actively be adjusting throughout whenever we do that. So, 78, England cricket fast bowler Chris Old became only the third man to capture 4 wickets and 5 balls in a test. What the fuck does this mean? As Pakistan dismissed for 164 in first test at Edgbaston, Old 5 for 70. If you think that you've had a stroke, you read something verbatim, you know it's English, you know the words, you know what they mean, just not in the order that you said, don't worry, you're not having an episode, it's just cricket, okay? It's just cricket, so, you know, everything's cool. 78, the first international applications under the Patent Cooperation Treaty were filed, alright. 79, Bishop Abel Muzorewa was sworn as Zimbabwe's Rhodesia's first black prime minister, the first leader of a black-led government in 90 years. Epic! Yeah. 79 as well, Los Angeles passed its first homosexual rights bill. All right. We also have Ted Coombs. Combs, like, how do you pronounce his name? Coombs? Coombs, okay.
Is it a B on the end? Coombs?
Yeah. Like comb, but another ooh, you know. Began a 5,193-mile roller skate from Los Angeles to New York City.
Oh,
We've covered a couple of these. You know, like be a roller skate or this or that or skateboard or something.
That pales in compared to walking around the perimeter of the United States, though.
That is very true. 1979, we got that one. We got that one. Hold on a second. What happened? Let's see here. 1980. Did I? Yeah, I got that one. Oh, I guess I scrolled up and got the wrong one. Huh. Oh. Anyway, 1980, ANC set fire to Sasol oil installations in South Africa. First baseman Steve Garvey hit the 7,000th Brooklyn/LA Dodger home run and a 9-5 loss at home to the Atlanta Braves. So in total, the Dodgers' 7,000th home run.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. First transmission of the cable news network, also known as CNN, also known as Communist News Network, China News Network, Clinton News Network, whichever CNN you want to use. Same shit, you know. So, began. So, yeah, congratulations.
Good. They thought he was nuts. We've talked about that before.
Oh, yeah, Ted Turner. Yeah. 24 hours, yeah.
Well, you can't do that. How are you going to do that? Like fill time.
Well, he obviously can't because today's news is all a bunch of bullshit opinions anyway. So, obviously, he was nuts.
Yeah.
So... 82, Oakland A's left fielder Ricky Henderson stole 2 bases in a 3-2 win over Boston Red Sox to become the fastest to reach 50 stolen bases in an MLB season. Nice. Yeah. 84, Netherlands Lubbers government gave 48 sites for cruise missiles. That's alarming. 85, Weird Al Yankovic released his Dare to Be Stupid album. Good song. Oh. I too am a little white and nerdy. So. 86, Daniel Steele's romance novel Wanderlust was published. I've heard about that. Ao's time! 1987, Cleveland Indians pitcher Phil Necro defeated Detroit Tigers 9-6 for his 314th MLB victory, combining with Joe Necro 216 for most combined wins by brothers in baseball history.
What a way to start Ao's time with a game on the line.
Yeah. You mean the cycle? 88, European Central Bank was founded in Brussels. Rothschilds. 1980 or 1990, Cowboy Channel on cable TV began transmitting. Well, yippee-ki-yay! When did they have a Cowboy Channel in the television?
Yeah.
You know, good old boob tube there. 1990, Cold War, George H.W. Bush and Mikhail Gorbachev signed a treaty to end chemical weapon production. Too bad we didn't. You know, like, end it, that is. 1992, E-lamps, or 20-year light bulb, was introduced. We also have a snowfall in Colorado. It's a little late, you know.
Yeah.
So.
No, they've had snow in every month, but I think except July.
January.
Yeah, except for July. They've had snow in every month except for the month of July.
Yeah. One of the J months.
Yeah.
January, June, July. You know, one of those three. At least you know you have 3 options rather than me being stupid and confusing May for March. Like, I thought March was May, and then May happened, and I thought May was March. My brain is just horrible. 1993 as well, Brooklyn, New York began recycling. All right. We also have Guatemalan President George Serrano overthrown by army. The Phoenix Suns guard Dan Majorla set a then NBA playoff record by sinking 8 3-pointers during the Suns' 120-114 win over Seattle in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals.
Let's give him credit. Dan Marley is the name.
And oh yeah, this is telling me. Remember IOYO first episode? Have we been doing IOYO for over a year already?
Maybe we have.
Because
that'd be 12 episodes.
I don't remember typing this in last night. And I remember the first episode we spoke about the 3-pointers. Remember all that?
Yeah, did it make the game better or not? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been a year.
Have we been doing IOYO for a year?
I don't know. Like I said, it'd be 12 episodes once a month.
Yeah, you know what? Let me
probably have.
Hold on a second. Let me look this up here. View my channel. IOYO. Let's see here. Hold up. Oh, wait. Let's scroll all the way down. Well, it's just giving me this date in history. Okay, hold on a second. Okay. Where is this giving me? I'm okay, you're okay. 3 weeks ago. Scroll all the way down. This is giving me. I'm gonna have to scroll forever with that. It must have been a year. Yeah. Anyway, 93 as well. Dobrizhina mortar attack. 13 people were killed and 133 were wounded when Serb mortar shells were fired at a soccer game in Dobrizhina, west of Sarajevo. Wow. Why are you shelling a soccer game? It's terrible. 94, Indiana guard Reggie Miller drilled an NBA playoff record 5 3-pointers in the fourth quarter of the Pacers' 93-86 win over host New York Knicks in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. 94 as well, the Republic of South Africa became a republic in the Commonwealth of Nations. So I poke a little bit about that. Remember yesterday when they became a thing and then they rejoined or whatever 60 years later because of the fall of apartheid or something? 95, we have the 68th National Spelling Bee. Justin Tyler Carroll won spelling Xanthosis. What the hell is even that word? Xanthosis. Like, where did it go? Here it is. Xanthosis? Like, let's look this up. I don't even know what that word means. It is a yellowish discoloration of degenerating tissues. Oh, it's deterioration. Why are we having children spell such horrible things? That's terrible. That's actually kind of gross. 1996, U.S. actor Woody Harrelson was arrested in Lee County, Kentucky, after he symbolically planted 4 hemp seeds to challenge the state law which did not distinguish between industrial hemp and marijuana. Wow, what way to prove his point? You know? 96, Sony does not renew lease on Megatron in Times Square. What? Megatron? The Decepticon? What the hell is he doing in Times Square? Or I guess because they owned him? Huh. That's weird. What else do we got here? 97, 10th Children's Miracle Network Telethon raised $5,400,186. 97 as well, after a huge 7-month build-up, Donovan Bailey of Canada defeated U.S. superstar Michael Johnson in a 150-meter race in Toronto. Disappointingly, Johnson pulled up at 110 mark with quadriceps injury. Huh. Sounds like he threw in the towel there. 97, LA Dodger Wilton Guerrero's bat broke, revealing it is corked. Uh-oh, that's not good. Holy shit, we have more comments. The Royal Navy even sent gunships to try and intimidate the Icelandic trawlers, but the trawlers tried ramming the gunboats, forcing the UK to flee.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, so I was right.
Yeah.
They actually did come to blows.
Yeah.
About the Cod Wars.
Yeah.
Then 96 was when I met and married my second wife. She thoroughly fleeced me. No prenup back then. Eventually divorced her in 2004. That sucks, dude.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. Gee. Oh. Anyway, what else do we got here? 98, Australian Susie Moroney become the first person to swim from Mexico to Cuba across shark and jellyfish-infested waters off the Yucatan Straits, swimming 123 miles in 38 hours, 33 minutes in a cage. Well, of course, in a cage.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the sharks would annihilate him. Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how close Mexico is to Cuba.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
So. And only an Australian would have the balls to do that. So, those people are crazy. The land itself, every creature, like freaking drop bears and shit, like, why? Move! Like, 98 as well, European Central Bank was founded in Brussels to define and execute the European Union's monetary policy. 2000, the Patent Law Treaty, PLT, was signed. 2001, Nepalese royal massacre. Crown Prince Dipendra of Nepal slaughtered his parents, 2 siblings, and 5 other family members during dinner at the Narhanadi Palace in Kathmandu.
Good.
Whoa.
Great.
Whoa. Wow. What the... Like, every now and then you get some stuff. Like Malcolm X's, relative burnt his grandmother or whatever. Remember that the other day?
I know.
Like, hold on a second.
Don't want to.
Okay. 2001 as well, Briendra Bir Bikram Shah Dev King of Nepal from 1972 to 2001 was assassinated by his son Dipendra in the Nepalese royal massacre at the age of 55. Wasn't this the same? Yeah, this is Nepal. Yeah, no, this is the same article. We just read this. Oh, this was added to primary source. Hold on a second. Nepalese royal massacre. Yeah. Wait, no, that's Hamas. Hold on a second. There it is, right there. These are two things talking about the same thing. 2 articles.
Yeah.
Combine them. Oh. 2002, in a battle of former heavyweight boxing champions in Atlantic City, Evander Holyfield defeated Hasim Rahman by technical knockout. Fight stopped at 1 minute 40 into the 8th round because of giant welt above Rahman's left eye. That would do it. 2003, the People's Republic of China, also known as... Well, is that Taiwan or is that West Taiwan? Is that the commies?
The People's Republic of China?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, this is West Taiwan. Yeah, because it says began filling the reservoir behind the Three Gorges Dam.
Yeah.
So this is Winnie the Pooh's people. Okay.
Yeah.
2004, Oklahoma City bombing co-conspirator Terry Nichols was sentenced to 161 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. Just fucking kill him, dude. Like,
He killed enough people.
yeah, well, I mean, like, at that point, you're not going to let him go.
Yeah.
So now you're just spending taxpayer money. Just end him, you know? 2005, the longest oil/natural gas explosion in the Houston, Texas area occurred in Crosby, Texas. The drill was owned by the Louisiana Oil and Gas Company.
Ooh.
So, well, I don't remember what that was. That's some building. Like, I'm way behind now. I don't remember what that building was. Like,
We just did the dam.
yeah. Hold on a second. What does it say? Library. Oh, there's some library that got burned apparently. I don't remember. I maybe we didn't. There's that dam. Yeah, there's a fire.
There's the fire. Yeah.
So, we'll get to that in a minute. And like, I just want to show like some pictures. Oh, did we not talk about Scotch whiskey? Oh, I think we did. Yeah, earlier. Yeah, we did. We did talk about Scotch
I think
whiskey.
I missed it.
Yeah, you did. Oh. What else do we got here? Actually, no. Was that the Freedom Bridge? Yeah, that's that Canadian bridge.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's a better shot of it. That's pretty
a really
cool.
good shot of it.
Yeah. What was this? Oh, that's that fight or one of the fights. Some fight. That's that plane that we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
What was this? It's an urn. Some guy. I don't know what that is. I don't know. We were talking about cheese.
Cheese, yeah.
You know. So, oh, that's Heimlich. So that's a Heimlich thing. Okay, so now we're caught up with last year's photos, and we're gonna get to there in a minute here. 2005, the longest. We got that one. 2007, Jack Kevorkian, aka Dr. Death,
Yes.
was released from prison after serving 8 years of his 10 to 25-year prison term for the 98 second-degree murder of Thomas Yoke. So he was like, he paved the way for assisted suicide.
Yeah.
And now Canada's eating the hell out of that.
Yeah.
2007 as well, Cyclone Gondu developed from an area of convection in the Arabian Sea, becoming the worst recorded natural disaster in Oman. Oh man. 2008, a fire at the backlot of Universal Studios Hollywood destroyed several icons from movies, such as Courthouse Square, the Clock Tower from Back to the Future,
Yeah.
and the King Kong exhibit and the studio tour. A large archive of master tapes for music and film was also torched, the full extent of which will not be revealed until 2019. And so here's a photo of all that, just gone.
I never even heard about that.
Yeah, of course you haven't. They kept it suppressed. So, 2009, Air France Flight 477 crashed in the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Brazil on a flight from Rio de Janeiro to Paris. All 228 passengers and crew were killed. We also have General Motors filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, and the fourth largest bankruptcy in the U.S., and they got bailed out by tax dollars. Then they still fired and laid off a whole bunch of people and went on extravagant vacations. Why are these people still walking around breathing? Seriously.
How do you know about the extravagant vacations?
Because that was reported.
Oh, okay.
Like they saw
That's
the
how you know.
CEOs. Yeah. Like it's, you don't believe me, go out and look.
I'm asking.
Oh, no, I'm not telling you. I'm just saying, the audience, like just go out and, do some research and such. We have some more comments here. Hurricane Katrina in 2005 made headline news around the world. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure did.
Yeah, true. Yep. Do we have any comments on Rumble? Nope. Okay, what else do we got here? Moving on up to 2011. Space Shuttle Endeavour made its final landing after 25 flights. Only flew 25 times. Oh. And we've been next to the Endeavour. Oh, there's a picture of us. Yeah.
Yes.
We also have a rare tornado outbreak occurred in New England. A strong ER3 tornado struck Springfield, Massachusetts, killing 4 people. That's very unusual. 2012, Johan Santana threw out first no-hitter in the New York Mets' 50-year MLB history when he defeated the St. Louis Cardinals 8-0. 1 year later, 2013, Bayern Munich defeated VfB Stuttgart 3-3 to win the DFB Pokal and become the first German treble-winning team. 2015, cruise ship carrying 458 people capsized on the Yangtze River. Less than 50 survived.
Oh, man, look at that.
Other source says 442 deaths. So we have a discrepancy, 442 to 458.
The
But
size of that thing.
Yeah. Like, they come out here with one of those huge barges with cranes and everything. Obviously, they somehow straightened it up in the water.
Yeah.
They capsized.
Well, before they can bring it up, they straighten it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what else do we got here? In 2016, Switzerland's Gotthard Base Tunnel was completed, the world's longest at 57 kilometers and at a cost of 11 billion euros, the most expensive. 57 kilometers. Like, hold on a second. I'm going to convert that to freedom units. Give me one moment. 57 kilometers to miles. Let's see here. 35.4 miles. That's a long tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Don't hold your breath and make a wish with that. I don't think you'll make it. We also have U.S. President Donald Trump announced the U.S. is withdrawing from the Paris Climate Agreement. Good.
Yeah.
We also have Baron and Luthien, compiled and edited by Christopher Tolkien from his father J.A.R. Tolkien's archives, was published by Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Some of these names are wild. 2018, Rouzen al-Najjar, a 22-year-old Palestinian medic, was shot and killed by Israeli forces on the Gaza border, causing widespread condemnation. Yeah, they're taking pot shots and nobody cares. 2018, Spanish Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy forced out of office by a no-confidence vote in Parliament, filed by socialist leader Pedro Sanchez. Of course, socialism. They're trying to destroy everything. Freaking, like, what's the word? Subverting a country? Like, is that what they call it? Subversion?
Yeah,
all
I
that
guess
stuff?
so.
So, we also have U.S. unemployment rate falls to 3.8%, the lowest since 2000. That's a giant load of shit right there. 2019, Mexican-American boxer Andy Ruiz Jr. produced a huge upset when he stopped English champion Anthony Joshua in 7 rounds at Madison Square Garden, won IBF, WBO, IBO, and WBA World Heavyweight titles. Now I ask you, do you remember why Madison Square Garden is called such?
Yeah, for the after the president.
James Madison, the fourth president.
Yeah.
Now I ask you again, do you remember why Times Square is called such?
Because Los Angeles, not the New York Times.
Yes, that's right. The Los Angeles Times is headquartered in Manhattan.
Okay.
But yes, you're right.
Yeah.
The New York Times it is, not the LA
Yeah.
Times. So. 2019, price of a movie ticket rose in Japan for the first time in 26 years.
Oh, man.
From 1,800 yen to 1,900 yen, while some cinemas kept the price the same. Wow. Cinema City, right there. Remember, like, their $5 matinees?
Yeah.
Like, dude, like, they were doing that when I was in high school. 20 years later, we were still going to $5 matinees in the same theater. Didn't change the price in 20 years. And now, unfortunately, they're gone. They're a Tesla dealership, but hey, that was cool, 2020, U.S. President Trump threatened to employ the military to quell protests across the country sparked by the death of Saint Fentanyl, then walks with staff to St. John's Church. Okay. We also have 2021 prehistoric carvings between 4,000 to 5,000 years old depicting deer were found in Scotland for the first time at Kilmartin Glen in Argyll. I gotta look this up here really quick. Doing a scan for comments. Nope, nothing new. So these right here. That's a cave painting.
Yeah.
And you can tell it's a guy too. They added in certain things, So that's awesome. 4,000 to 5,000 year old cave paintings. Freaking epic. 2021, U.S. President Brandon visited Tulsa, Oklahoma, marking 100-year anniversary of racial massacre in the Greenwood neighborhood. 2022, Turkey officially changed its name to Turkey. It's still pronounced the same. It's just they just wanted to make it sound fancy at the United Nations and internationally. So now they're known as they're still known as Turkey. They just changed the name or changed the spelling. So we also have U.S. Coast Guard Admiral Linda Fagan assumed the post of commandant, becoming the first female commander of a U.S. military branch.
Whoa.
All right, or is it Fagan? Fagan, Fajon? DiGiorno? Dijon mustard? Like, how do you pronounce that name?
I don't know.
U.S. Congress passed bipartisan legislation raising $31.4 trillion debt ceiling, avoiding a default after deal struck between President Brandon and House Speaker Kevin McCarthy. We also have world's largest ever election ended in India after 6 weeks with 642 million people voting in the country's general election, including a record 312 women voting. 312 million women voting. Sorry.
Good.
That's an obscene amount, like of 642 million. Like, how do you get through all that? And they still defeated us, you Californians, in the count. So, 2025, Freedom Flotilla ship Madeline, carrying humanitarian aid en route to Gaza, Palestine, set sail with Swedish activist Greta, how dare you, Thunberg, member of the European Parliament, Rima Hassan, and 10 other volunteers. Yeah, she looked like He-Man at the time. Like, hold on a second. Greta Thunberg, He-Man. So, yeah, that's what she looked like at the time. People were comparing her to He-Man because of Prince Adam-ass haircut. So, what else do we got here? 2025 as well. Operation Spiderweb. Ukrainian security service launched over 100 remotely piloted drones at military airfields across Russia, targeting long-range bomber aircraft. We also have Paris Saint-Germain Football Club fans cause chaos across France following the club's victory in the Champions League. 2 people died, 201 were injured, 4 stores were looted, hundreds were arrested in clashes with riot police, and 1 police officer is left in a coma. And they fucking won. Wow, dude, I thought the riots out here in LA after the Lakers won were bad when they flipped over a police car and set it on fire. Over in France, they're fucking killing people. Jeez. Last but not least, right-wing Karol Nawrocki was elected president of Poland with 50.89% of the popular vote, defeating Rafał Trzaskowski. And that shall concludes the show. Once again, please check the underbar of the description below for any links that you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things on the Coalition. A lot of history has and continues to be made on a daily basis. We can only bring you a portion. We somehow, got through all 43 pages of our document here in just an hour and change and stuff. But yeah, we can only bring you a portion between 2 sources. I implore you, go out there, expand your educational horizons, on your own. Follow your own self, destiny. Like, it is up to you to find the artifacts of our history, but only if each individual reaches out with and for open mindfulness, with a yearn to learn, to see outside what you think you know, to grow and find enlightenment. We have to find common ground with those who see their opinions differently from our own, and find a better way to be better to one another. For your dose of Past Events Daily, we stream every day at 5 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, respectively. For all of you and all of us, I'm Xander.
Golden Loon.
And UVRU, thank you so much for watching, and if you're still here, you pick the code word.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, put toilet paper in the comment section. Let us know that you made it all the way over here. Anyway, until you catch us next time, whenever it is, wherever it is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!